Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the round 8 of season 2 for the ERS Elite Racing Series League. Today, we're going to be racing here at Silverstone for the Great Britain Grand Prix, starting off here with a short qualifying session, getting ready to kick off here in a few seconds. Joined today here in the booth with me is Fanta. How are you doing today, Fanta?
Well, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing well. You excited for this race this evening?
I am. Silverstone is a circuit that can provide a great qualifying lap and great racing. A lot of opportunities for overtakes, very high speed, lots of degradation. It's very hard to recharge your battery. So strategy is going to matter a lot going into the race. And obviously, everyone's strategy will be dependent on where they line up on the grid.
Super duper. All right, we're getting ready to go here into qualifying.
Waiting to see who will be the first out on track to brave the green track, not rubbered in, not particularly gain too much evolution. See who goes out first here as everyone gets their setups ready to go. And it looks like it will be a Williams going out first. Indeed, it will. That is the Williams of Ayrtonio, followed by a Ferrari and a Red Bull. Red Bull are going to need a good qualifying. Currently 0 points in the constructors. On board now with the Ferrari of Laser Blaster 25. Just as he gets towards the end of Sector 2, warming up his tyres. Easy flat through cops, but even on his outlap, just missing the apex there. I wonder if this will spell trouble for the Ferrari going into his flying lap. Seems to have it really hooked up through Maggots and Beckett's, but missing the apex on Maggots. His exit through Beckett's looking pretty good as we head onto the hangar straight. Greg, you there?
I'm here just having a little bit of technical difficulties getting sorted out right now.
Okay. Well, I'll try to give you guys as much as I can from this pause screen of this flying lap of Laser Blaster. Heading out of the final chicane, flat through the exit of the final corner, flat through turn 1, cut that as much as you can. Same here through sector 2, you want to keep it, turn 2, you want to keep a really tight line before braking into turn 3. Short shift into third gear, but he went into second and down into first. This isn't looking like a particularly good lap for the Ferrari. He's still climbing through the gears, a decent exit here. I wonder what happened as you get up to Brooklyn. You're braking late here just after the 50. You want to catch quite a late apex, which he does. You want to take a double apex through his corner, gets the first one nicely, goes slightly wide, but still gets on the throttle okay. Can't say this is looking like a phenomenal lap right now for Laser Blaster. Doesn't downshift through cops. You can hear the engine really the top of its revs. Not enjoying what it's going through right now. It's a flat corner through here, single downshift through Maggots, a single downshift through Beckett's, looking a lot cleaner than his outlap, but I wouldn't be particularly surprised if this doesn't take him to the top of the boards by the end of session, Greg.
Yeah, no, it looks like he was struggling a little bit through there. But still plenty of time left in this qualifying session. Plenty of time to get back in the pits, hop back out there, and correct those mistakes for sure.
Hey, Artemius in the first lap of the session on 127.5. I don't think Laser Blast will be able to match this. And no, he's nowhere near 2.4 seconds off, Greg.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at that. But like I said earlier, still plenty of time to this qualifying session. Still a lot
going
of
for a
big
second
names,
push
still a lot
lap.
of fast cars that haven't even put in a lap yet. But once we get through this qualifying session a little bit more, we'll be able to see where a lot of different people will be sitting through this
Let's
circuit.
go on board with Rob the Goat, our current championship leader. Winter setting an absolute stellar time.
Here we go,
Seems like
current
Rob here is
championship
coming
leader.
towards the end of his flying lap. Into sector 3, goes braking late on the curb. Oh, terrible mid-corner. That's not what he would have wanted. He gets the braking right, tries to cut that curb as much as he can, but still
Ooh.
some margin is struggling briefly on the brakes. This would be a very good. Oh, that was his outlap. That would explain a lot, Greg. Oh, he must have. We must have missed. We must have missed an invalidation. Winter currently topping the times by a margin too. 9/10 to P2. Will Alpha Elite have any response to this as we leave him heading out Brooklands into Cox? Such a famous corner, and that's why that's going to be a track limit.
Yeah, unfortunately not looking too good there.
I think we should pay attention to his steering wheel, Greg, as he crosses the line to see what the lap time would have been, although it's, discounted. A very aggressive line through Maggots and Beckett, taking a lot of grass on his outer left tyre, his left front tyre. But is it so bad? Oh, that's not ideal. You really want to push the limits there, go onto the painted white curb and into the pit. That doesn't surprise me. The thing is, going into that corner, it's so difficult because you want to brake late onto the curbing, but before you want to brake late onto the white line, but before the curbing starts. But before the curbing starts, there's grass and there's gravel. It's very difficult to get through. We're on board here with Laser Blaster's second attempt.
Seems to be flying through pretty quickly right now.
His mid-corner speed didn't look too good through Maggots.
Well, it looks like he's going to warming up some of those tires, it looks like.
But I don't think low tire temps would be the cause of this instability. To me, it would be high tire temps, and that is into the pits. An aborted second lap for Laser Blaster.
Here we go with the other Ferrari of Give Me out on the track. Looks like he's running a fast lap.
That looked much better through Cops and his teammate. Alpha, the Aston Martin getting out of the way. This is looking much more hooked up with a bit of understeer on the exit there. It shouldn't matter too much as long as his run down the hanger straight is fine as it looks like he will be. Again, it's such a hard braking zone to jump. You see he's some margin there, but he's going to miss the apex. Not over track limits, but getting in the throttle over the car by bottoming him out is not ideal. And just through the chicane, multiple stabs to get it turned in. And that is P2, the closest attempt to Winter. And I'll be honest with you, Greg, that didn't even look like the best onboard we've seen so far today.
No, not.
I feel like there's a lot of time for Give Me One JZ because need I remind you, he's in the fight for the championship here. And with the absence of Kibo, his only rival is Rob the Goat, who, as we know, is already invalidated.
Looks like Rob the Goat is getting ready to hop on an outlap here as well. So we'll switch over to him in a minute. We got F1 original Paulie D getting ready to start his first flying lap. Trying to get a time set down. Comes to the start finish line.
He kept it pinned, and that's all that matters.
Through turn 1 and turn 2.
Important to keep a tight line through here, and every driver's doing it. It's pretty easy, but it means they must know their line around the circuit. And that looked like a pretty good exit for Paulie D.
Oh, amazing line. Amazing line through there. That was spectacular.
He's going to miss the apex. That isn't ideal. He will miss the first through this corner, but the second one's the most important because this is such a treacherous traction zone, Greg. It feels like it takes forever for the throttle to come to you on the exit of that corner. So that's why lining up the second part of that corner is perhaps more important than the entry. The time you will lose mid-corner, you will make up on the exit.
No, I mean, I completely agree with that. Last season on this circuit, probably the two corners I struggled with the most trying to find a line through. So seeing a lot of these drivers nailing that, pretty impressive, honestly. Ooh, swings a little wide.
Mid-corner speeds just don't seem to be what this AlphaTauri is looking for. This is a very awkward line to try to get the throttle back on, and you'll hear it. He goes very far into the corner before he can put the throttle back on, and that's only a P5. 2 seconds away from pole almost, Greg. That doesn't surprise me. Let's go on board with Paulie D here as he, Paulie D, Rob the Goat, as he tries to set his fastest lap. Tries to set his first valid lap of the session. Through Magnussen Beckett, looking hooked up. He may have disallowed again. Let's not, take this lap for granted, but Magnussen Beckett's looking good. Very confident through the high speed.
Ooh, really quick through there as well. That was almost pure perfection.
Like he struggled a little bit of the rear turning in on him on the entry.
There he goes again on the gas, getting ready to come to the start-finish line.
Where will he go?
And second place.
Only 3 tenths away from Winter, and now if you're Winter at the start of this qualifying session, you were probably quite happy. But people are starting to edge closer. Granted, there's some track evolution in it, but not that much. We've got over halfway through the point of this qualifying session. And, with Rob putting such a lap, there was only 3 tenths off a pole, but I felt like he left a lot of margin in. It's going to be exciting to see where he ends up in the end.
Looks like we have Pod Racer getting ready to start his fast lap coming up to the start-finish line.
This is another big race for Pod. He's had a very unlucky season, been involved in a lot of incidents, quite frankly, that were of none of his own doing. He will be hunting down his first win from now to the final 5 rounds of this season. That didn't look like an amazing line through the exit of loop there. That's really going to affect him. This straight is so dependent on your exit. Braking quite early, but really cutting over that apex. His line through Brooklands is looking phenomenal. No, that was well played. Back on the exit. Back on the throttle, well through the exit. Flat out, he's taking such a close line. I was wondering why he turned in so early to Cobbs. He was leaving himself with no margin to get that car turned in. It was such a narrow line.
Very narrow, very narrow. Very fortunate to keep it on track and clean, but
really questioning what would have made him take a line like that in the first place. With so much on the line, P2 is not. There's an opportunity for P3 here with the right lap time. I would have hoped for a little bit more of Pod on this race, and he's going to go instantly back into the pits, probably claim his last set of fresh tires and go out for his last runs. Right now, I'd say this is looking in the favor of Winter.
Very much looking in favor of Winter.
Pole position around Silverstone probably isn't the most important track to get oh my god, sorry about that. Pole position around Silverstone probably isn't the most important track to get a pole position at, but a pole position is an advantage nonetheless. And as you can see, he's sitting about 2 points. I'm not going to say the number, but he is not very far off. Could be a close session. On board here with Winter as he prepares for what I assume would be his final set of laps for the session. Perhaps fueled for more than 1 lap, but I wouldn't see that as ideal around a circuit with around the circuit with degradation of high silver speed. I mean, there's just so many high-speed corners. They just put so much load on the outside tire, and it's quite a balanced mix of left and rights, and high-speed left and rights for that matter.
Give me with the fastest lap.
Exactly a 10th clear. Oh no, I'm blind. I thought that was a 3. 500th clear of Winter. Winter on his outlap. He's going to see that. He knows this lap is going to matter. There are still people with tires left, like Rob de Goat, who are championship leaders, championship contenders. This is going to be so important for Winter.
I completely agree. I mean, 3 minutes left in this qualifying session. Let's see what happens once these minutes start dwindling down and cars start heading out for their last laps. But Winter, on his fast lap going right now, needs to make this lap count, no mistakes, if he wants that pole position.
Beautiful exit through loop. I'm not sure if I liked him going down into second gear. He might have cost himself a fraction of time on the climb up this straight. But the line and the exit looked good. He hooked up that apex perfectly. There's the Williams going off ahead. Was that a mistake from the Williams on a fast lap? Or was he just trying to let Winter through? I don't think Rob de Goat will be able to come out for another lap. I think he's going to have to settle with his 126.9.
Yeah, he'd have to be coming out here pretty soon, starting that out lap if he did want a chance at getting that pole position. But it looks like he's hanging back, and
that didn't look like a particularly good line through Cops from Winter, and he's also struggling through Beckett. That is going to hurt his apex. That is a corner where you need your mid corner speed high. But oh, that is committed, Greg. That is committed.
Beautiful stuff coming from Winter.
He doesn't need to find much of an improvement here to go on pole. Only half a tenth.
Here he comes to the start-finish line, and it's pole position.
A 3/10 improvement. Rob de Goat will be out in time for a final lap. Antonio, a new addition to the league, will start his flying lap.
Looks like he's starting his flying lap right now, going through. Ooh, loses the ground a little bit through there.
So unstable, but recorrected his line. He adjusted perfectly, but it just seems when he wants to get on this throttle, the rear end of this Williams is escaping on him. So you have to be so committed through the brakes there. The telemetry through he is just struggling on that throttle. Perhaps overdriving or a result of a very aggressive setup, which normally tends to pay dividends in qualifying over the race, but we will see. Through the flat left, through the flat right, downshift, lift, a double downshift for him. He managed to look at that exit quite well. He keeps going. I think he's confident he can still improve here.
Let's see where he ends up.
It's going to take a big lap to go over Rob, especially with Rob having one qualifying lap left in the bag. And
he needs a little over 0.3 of a second here. Ooh, not looking good. Still a little squirrely through those last couple of turns. Comes to the start-finish line, and it's not going to do it.
Not enough.
Let's take a look at.
Let's see what Rob de Goat is going on. Our current championship leader, as he's just exited loop, the very start of Sector 1 into the start of Sector 2. Time is up. If he makes a mistake now, this is over. This is such a good opportunity for him to pull ahead of his teammate who is absent and his title rival. Give me one Jay-Z, but it's going to take him near enough 0.3 to find that. So committed through the high speeds. Look at this.
Looking good so far.
And keeping the car through 8s didn't sound like such a bad decision. He's still doing it. He loves to keep this car in its high revs. And that's probably the best Beckett's we've seen today. Uses up all the track possible without compromising his exit onto this oh so important hanger. The longest straight of the circuit your run is so important. Looked like a missed apex, but again...
Ooh, I heard a little bit of a lockup too coming through there.
But lockup's a part of this game. Can you do this? Oh, I was a little no, it's not enough. So close. 2 attempts on out qualifying his title rival, but won't quite make it. And I have to say, I was expecting more.
I cannot
But
lie to you.
Winter has just seemed so in control the whole session. His
Dude,
original time remained undisputed,
and that's
and
the end
then
of the
when he
qualifying session.
played it, Pod Racer in fourth. Our top five will go as Winter, Give Me One Jay-Z, Rob the Goat, Pod Racer, AN, and AR Tonio, followed by the Alpine of Insurrection, F1 Paulie D, Laser Blaster, I Don't Know, Alpha Ellie, Willpower, and Future CSM failing to set a lap time.
Yeah,
That's got to be something.
So Future CSM, he is pretty new to the online sim racing community. He's also new to the league. So I don't even remember him leaving the pit lane. I think he's just trying to start from the back. I know personally, talking to him, he did just say his goal for this race is to just finish. And that is all he's looking forward to doing.
I mean, to finish first, Greg, first you have to finish.
Exactly.
Something I perhaps could have learned in my time in this league.
And here we go. The driver's going to line up on the start finish line. I'm going to give them a little bit of time here to work on their setups, make sure they have their tires, their strategies, and everything good to go before the start of the race. So we'll give them about 3 minutes here to get that set up. While we wait on that, anything interesting going in your life, Fanta?
Absolutely not, but I am interested in to see the qualifying, like the setup direction for these drivers post qualifying. Through those qualifying laps, it was a little bit difficult to tell what setup direction the grid was going. But through this race, we'll be able to tell who's on the low downforce, who's on the high downforce, and both setups work around here, Greg. If you want to go for an aggressive low downforce, there's plenty of moves, plenty of places to make these moves. The hanger straight, which we've spoken about being oh so vital. Even in recent years in Formula One, we've seen moves into turn one from the Hamilton straight. It's going to be an exciting race, especially with 3 title contenders, all with so much on the line, starting so close to each other. This late into the season, it will be a display of who has the best race pace, but not only that, best racecraft. When to make a move, how to make a move, preserving your tires, which is difficult around here, preserving your battery, which is even more difficult around here. So the race will have a lot of twists and tails.
Oh, no, I completely agree. That's one thing I'm looking forward to here at Silverstone. I know a lot of different race strategies, a lot of different race setups. It can go either way. Everything is on the table.
And also something that I don't think gets spoken enough about this track. I mean, maybe it did after Jarno Otmir controversially got a win off it. But the pit lane in Silverstone, it's just a high-speed committed braking zone. You go into there quite fast out of the exit of a high-speed corner. And to gain time through there, it's really about braking as late as you can to reach the pit entry speed without getting a penalty. I think there's so much time to be won in the pit.
Oh, no, I mean, I completely agree. I remember seeing that for the first time, Jarno Otmir taking the win for the Creator Series here through the pit lane. Crazy stuff. I remember when that happened, but a lot of time and a lot of strategy coming in from the pit lane for sure, being involved during this circuit.
And for Rob the Goat to for Give Me One Jay-Z to overtake Rob the Goat in the championship here, he would have to have quite a big scoring weekend. He's 7 points away from Rob the Goat. A win would put him tied with Rob. Remember, Rob's teammate, the other championship contender, who's only 4 points back, is not here. And I would go as far as saying maybe Rob is slightly thankful for that. Kibo's recent on-track pace has been phenomenal, winning a few races by a margin. He has one more race win over RDG, but Rob still has one more podium, and that average finishing position is what's keeping him 4 points ahead. But this is such a big opportunity for the both of them. Even for Winter to close the gap onto Kibo and really establish himself in the run for this Drivers' Championship.
No, I mean, I very much agree with you. I mean, taking a look at the standings right now, we have RDG
I
in
think
first.
this race starting soon.
Oh, race is getting ready to start. We do have the formation lap, so while the drivers go around the track, we'll take the time to look at the standings.
That doesn't. Is that a formation lap or was that an accident? I am very confused. There seemed to be a big incident into turn one. Winter's still pushing as he tries to go away. Is that is Rob the Goat on the inside of Pod Racer? Pod Racer really fighting to try and get that podium. To claim his second podium of the season, it would mean so much to him. Will he be able to complete the move? The Haas has still got the inside line. This is shaping up to be quite a phenomenal battle, but it's giving Winter room to just stretch his legs and creep out front. I don't think 1JZ has the pace here on this opening lap to stick with Winter, and I don't think it will get. And that's an off track. It's definitely not going to get any better. An off track there will put him under pressure from the Haas behind. Winter's pulled ahead, but the train behind him seems to be fully well and alive, apart from Insurrection, who seemed to be involved in that race start incident. I'm sure that's one I'll have to review later on the stewards panel.
Yeah, definitely we'll be taking a look at that. We'll have to see. Here we go, drivers coming through. Winter appears to be taking a big lead here at the start.
Almost 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, amazing start coming from Winter. And then we see the rest of these drivers. They're all starting to settle in. Ooh, a little bit of lost traction from that Red Bull in the back there. From I don't know. But it looks like he maintained it and was able to keep it on the track. We'll go back up.
Through qualifying, Rob seems much more confident in his setup than Pod did. But Pod is managing to stick a lot closer behind that Haas than I think the Haas would like it to.
Oh, no.
I think given Rob's pace and his championship standings, he wouldn't like to be stuck in P2 behind a struggling Ferrari.
Oh, no, I mean, I
Nor
completely
being
agree
hunted
with
down
you.
by Pod Racer.
I mean, when you're someone like Winter, you have a pulled away 2-second gap behind the car in front of you is a lot easier to deal with than when you're trying to turn laps around the track and you see you got someone sitting right on your rear end.
And Winter is someone. Oh, there's another caution. What's happened here? Is that another off for Insurrection as he drops further down the field? Oh, I think that was the result of a pit stop, to be honest with you, Greg.
Let's take a look at that right now. Actually, we can probably get the track map here turned on. Full track map. Doesn't look like there are any more.
Keep the full track map on, yes, sir.
Yeah. I should have done that at the beginning. That's my mistake. I apologize for that.
And then looks like there's been a gap built up from the top 5 to P6 Laser Blaster, but Laser Blaster, his qualifying laps, he seemed like he was very much on the edge, but the car didn't give him the stability he needed. But even now, the top 3 have just pulled a second out on AR Tonio. That's going to be awkward for him. Losing out on DRS is for sure going to count him out of this battle.
Ooh, loses the rear end a little bit.
JZ, who's fighting Rob the Goat for this championship, will make the mistake and have to give a place by to Pod
RDG and Pod Racer losing that position. But, I mean, if there's one thing we know, Give Me is definitely still in this fight. He can claim those positions back one at a time. Still early in this race.
But the issue is look, Rob knows he's seen the mistake. He's seen his opportunity to push forward. He's used his battery. And there's another spin. Oh no, that's a massive incident. Pod Racer and Laser Blaster all involved with that. That is unfortunate. He was really looking like he was ready to claim his second podium of the season, but that's just welcomed Give Me J back into that final podium position spot. And Paulie D looks to be all over the back of Give Me Jay-Z's Ferrari. Can he commit to the move? Not through a hanger straight. He can't get it done. But right now, he is the only driver with DRS in front of him. And he seems to be hustling that Ferrari along.
Yeah, after that incident, definitely a lot of time separating these leaders. But if you look here, we do got a decent battle between fifth and sixth here. Laser Blaster and F1 Pauly D. Hopefully, Pauly D can make a decent move. Pulling up
I
here on the Ferrari of Laser Blaster.
all over the back here. He's just able to follow so easy. This is just a dead giveaway of a clear pace difference here. Will Laser Blaster having to defend moves ever so slightly across to stop a late move into the braking, and that's job done for now. But how long will Paulie be happy to sit behind this Ferrari and let his tires get eaten up?
Well, it looks like he's getting ready to make a move right now.
Direction.
And he backs out just a little bit, it appears.
Smart through cops. But I wouldn't like to make this move too fast if I was Paulie.
Yeah, backs out again.
To get re-overtaken back down the straight. But Laser Blaster slowly working his way onto the back of Antonio too, who seems to be struggling for pace. He has really fallen off of this lead fight. As Give Me One Jay-Z looks to make up for his mistakes and get back into the DRS of Rob, and there goes the move. He's made it. He's clear. I fear that this is just going to bring Laser Blaster back into the tracks of Alpha.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to be on Rob to go here pretty quickly. That's for sure. He wants it. You can tell.
He needs it. Every single point now is important to him. If he wants to take this championship home, it's going to be... The start of this campaign needs to begin now. And he looks like he's had just so much of a better exit than Rob. Closing up under braking, but just not quite there.
I mean, let's not forget, we do have Gimme Jay-Z. He is on the hards, Rob to go on the mediums, and he's still closing that distance.
This doesn't spell good news for Rob.
No, not in the slightest.
In all honesty, oh, no way he goes for the move there. Passes by cops. It wasn't even a question. Rob going off. Not only did he go off track, but did he have his battery off? I struggle to understand the closing speed Laser Blaster got through such a short run into cops. Is Rob just saving his battery so he can attempt to re-overtake in these coming laps? But he is far behind.
I mean, that might...
far behind.
He is far behind.
And
losing
all of this
second to Give Me One JC in the Ferrari.
Paulie D climbing places as well. He's now on the back of Antonio trying to make that move. Wow.
And here we go. Let's take a look at that right now.
He has climbed through this field. He has passed Laser Blaster. And now he's on the back of Antonio. Just losing out in the low speed, maybe under traction or under braking, but through the high speed, constantly just bringing himself back through. That's going to leave him with very little options on where to make this move, and if Antonio is paying enough attention, he will know this, and the defense will be mounted. Rob still barely hanging on to the DRS of Give Me One Jay-Z.
Yeah, so we get back to that battle right now for third.
The mediums would go off this fast. I don't think they have. Maybe it was a bit of a strategic move to let Rob through, sit behind, let his battery recharge, maybe chill on his tires a little bit, but I'm not sure if his tires would enjoy being stuck in all this dirt, yeah? And it must have been a mistake from Antonio because he's now pulling the distance again on Paulie D through every sector of this track so far. Rob closing up, but can't seem to get within more than 0.4 of a second. He's going to have to be very, very close. Is he going to plan to go? Is this a 2-stop, or is he going to go hards until the end?
I mean, it seems like a very early pit. 7 laps on mediums. I feel like these mediums can definitely go a lot longer distance. You must have some strategy cooking up there.
But a pit stop that early is going to change everything. So many incidents and yellow flags happening on track.
Let's take a look.
I wonder if Rob starts to set purple sectors, he can.
It looks like he did go onto the hards.
If he can start setting fast sectors and the rest of the grid is aware of it, he can start to put them under a lot of pressure. And he's also come out into a really good spot. He has a 6-second buffer to Laser Blaster ahead. I have no doubt he will close that up quickly, but some nice clean air to ease his tires into nice and early.
Now back to this battle between Artonio and F1 Pauly D. Still looking to make the move on that Williams.
It almost seems to me that like Pauly D is on the very limit of his battery. So every time he goes for an overtake and it fails, he just has to back out and recharge and then go again.
Yeah,
Because he can comfortably close up to the behind of this Williams. But there's been many laps we've seen him 1 second behind.
Making a move to the inside.
Easy. I don't even think the Williams can fight this, to be honest with you, Greg. He's completely clear into the braking zone. That was no question.
Oh,
an insurrection picking up a time penalty. That is not ideal. A man whose race went wrong before the cars even went into the first corner just can't seem to get rid of this misfortune. And that slide from the Williams doesn't look easy to follow.
No, it looks like F1 Pauly D for sure starting to increase
Rob
that
has
gap.
already closed 3 seconds on Laser Blaster since we last checked in. Make that 2.3. He is so close. In fact, he might be a little bit faster than he was expecting. And Laser Blaster, with no obligation to give this position over, might be somewhat of an obstacle.
Looking very interesting here as Rob the Goat does maintain to climb on Laser Blaster. That is for sure.
Yeah, through this low speed and through these traction zones, I just think the Williams throughout his laps looked like he was struggling everywhere. Overdriving, perhaps the balance of the car a bit too on the nose, a bit too much for him to be comfortable with.
Yeah,
it just seems to be all over the place for him.
F1 Pauly D beginning to pull away from that Williams as well. Almost a 2-second gap since he made that pass.
And as the longer this goes, I think it's going to become harder and harder for the Ferrari to find the right pit stop. He might have to overcut completely and wait for everyone else to pit before he can even think about making his.
And it looks like Rob the Goat made the pass on Laser Blaster.
I just don't think with the pace difference there, I don't think there's anything Laser Blaster could do. No. By the time they get into the next ERS zone, I'm sure Rob the Goat will be a second ahead. But for him now, he's got to find a balance of pace and preservation. Because every lap now is him attempting the undercut. But as soon as he comes out ahead of that Ferrari, the Ferrari has the advantage.
Let's take a look at these tires right now.
Tires there for the end.
We have a few drivers like Winter. He's 8 laps on mediums. We have a few drivers 8 laps on hards. How long do you think? How long do you think these mediums will last on this track? I know you were talking about the tire degradation on this track.
I think taking it past lap 11, given everyone else's look how much of the grid has pitted now.
Yeah, very much.
Almost half the grid is on fresh tires, and it's only going to be more as we get another car diving into the pits. I think you could maybe stretch these mediums now to about lap 11 without giving yourself a lot of work to do coming out of the pits.
I mean, we're sitting here on lap 9, so that means we have 16, 17 laps.
And the limitations of F1 spectating.
Do you think hards would go the rest of the way, these 16 laps?
Yes, but they're going to be under a lot of pressure as our race leader comes into the pits to take his hards. But I don't think that's going to mean anything to anyone, given the amount of room he managed to put on the rest of the field.
No,
I would be very surprised if Rob gets out ahead here. He just won't. It's not happening.
Let's see what Winter opts for. Is he going for the mediums?
Well, I wonder what the gap will be. How well has this undercut worked for Rob the Goat? It has worked phenomenally. He is now only 2 seconds behind Winter. If you remember, before the pits, it was near enough 5. But the question is, can he keep these hards going to the end? I think he's forced Winter perhaps into a bit of an earlier stop than he would have liked. The advantage Winter only has is 3 laps. It's not night or day.
Very much so. Going to be interesting to see where these pit strategies
And
lead
if
these
Robert
drivers.
built up a lot of confidence in his free air,
10-second
those
time
lap
penalty
times
for
are
Will
reeling in.
Power, speeding in the pit lanes.
And like I said, drivers are going to want to push into the pit lane without pushing too much, and it looks like he has. Diving into the pit lane now, forgive me, 1JZ, it's going to be so important for him to come out anywhere near Rob. He doesn't want to give himself too much. He's going to have to make these. Wow. That is a very early pit. That is a very early pit for a hard runner.
No, I completely agree with that. Looks like F1 Pauly D coming up on the start-finish line right now. Definitely going to see where that puts him. Takes the lead over 1JZ still in the pits. Winter taking the position as well, not far behind, 3 seconds.
1JZ obviously comes out behind Rob the Goat, but how much is the question? And I don't think he's lost that much. For the tire advantage he's had, I'm sure he will take 3 seconds.
3 seconds behind, position 3.
I mean, the bottom 5 or so not having tremendous races, all except for last with penalties. And for future, props to him. His first race, he said he wants to finish, and although he may be far behind, he's yet to pick up a penalty, unlike other faster drivers around him.
Yeah,
Speaking of penalties, that was a track limits almost certainly for Pauly D.
Very much so, and then we see Winter closing the gap. Going to be very interesting to see how long it takes Winter.
And there's Future's penalty. I'm sorry for opening my mouth.
Yeah, you definitely jinxed it there, but I mean,
the commentator's curse.
Like I was talking about, Future CSM, he's definitely new to the sim racing world. Just had his first finish last race at Spa, and then talking to him, just said, all I'm looking forward to doing is just finishing the race. Doesn't care if he's slow, doesn't care if he goes a couple of laps down. He just wants to turn laps, get good, and just focus on improvement.
It has absolutely gapped Paul on the pit exit, unfortunately.
Oh, no,
since the pit stops, Winter has pulled away. And I wonder if Paul has recognized this and is just going to let Winter's DRS maybe drag him on for this lap. Set the best in lap he can, dump some battery, get behind Winter, let that DRS carry you. Because compared to the rest of the grid, he's gone very long.
Still 14 minutes, I apologize. 14 laps left in this race. A lot could happen. Starting to see the drivers settle in a little bit. I'd say we got another 6 to 8 laps before we see the drivers start actually pushing and start fighting for position.
And I would also like to point out that I think that applies for most, except for Give Me 1JZ. It's do or die for him now, given the lap and tire he is on. He needs to close up to Rob the Goat. He needs to make that move, and he needs to stretch his leg. Because coming into the final laps of this race, it will be undeniable that Rob will have the pace on him. They've both looked so even, so consistent, but I don't think anyone is quite touching this man here as he starts lap 13. Another car moving out of his way. Absolutely phenomenal race. No mistakes. Clinical qualifying. This could have been a Grand Slam, but I understand him not wanting to risk it. And there's Laser Blaster getting a penalty for pitting. I wonder why Pauly hasn't pitted yet. I don't think he is letting the rest of the grid strategy sway him from sticking to the conventional strategy. When everyone else is on an alternate strategy and you are on the conventional strategy, guess what, Greg? Your strategy becomes the alternate.
No, I mean, I completely agree with that. I mean, he's still 12 laps on these hards. I mean, these hards are not going to stretch that long, that's for sure. He might be hoping for a safety car, but
I think he's lining up to have a phenomenal stint on these mediums. He'll probably come out behind Pod Racer, but he's already made the move on Pod Racer. He's already made the move on AR Tonio. I think a P5 for Paulie D here is looking more than comfortable.
Oh, no, I mean, I completely agree. And then it looks like we got Rob the GOAT looking to make his move.
Very aggressive. I think he understands the situation he's in. He's going to force Daz Paulie in the pits.
Into the pits he goes. It looks like we have the Williams of Willpower coming
Let's
up as
keep
a
an
lap
eye
car.
on Pod Racer here, though, because his gap to Paulie D will be very, very important. If he can come out a good few seconds clear ahead of his current race rival, that would be very important for him. But maybe it's starting to look not so good for him. As Paulie starts to leave his pit box now and climb out of the pits. No, Paulie is leaving himself a lot of work. But
JZ getting ready to make his move on Rob the GOAT in the Haas, it looks like. Closing in very slowly.
Closed up fast. And I'm sure Rob is not very appreciative of Paulie D. I mean, Greg, 8 laps left. And Paulie D is on a much quicker tyre than the cars in front of him. But he has to find more than 10 seconds and make the overtakes in order to claim a P4 here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty exciting stuff, that's for sure. Paulie D coming out onto the mediums. I mean, he has a few laps to go. He can definitely stretch the mediums, see where that puts him. We'll have a lot of drivers on these old hards.
In all honesty, Paulie should have the fastest stint of the race here.
Winter just sets the fastest time on hards.
Winter is just flexing at this point.
I mean,
7 seconds into the lead. And Rob the GOAT seems to be under too much pressure to even think about closing down that lap time.
I mean, since the beginning, I mean, this has really been Winter's race to win. I mean, we'll see how it goes as these laps close down.
And the rest have just been forced to pick up the scraps.
Exactly. He seems to just be in his own world up there the entirety of this race, pulling off from the start of the race.
This is a very close gap leading onto this DRS straight. Can he make the move off the inside? No. Rob just committing to braking super deep there and completely clearing the Ferrari. This is good defense so far. But wow, look at that tire difference. Look how much more stable that Ferrari looks on corner exits and under traction.
Insurrection.
Even through the mid-corner of Cops. Wow. I think Rob is just delaying the inevitable here. If there is around a 4/10 gap here leading onto this back straight, I think it's more. It's already done. The move is already completed. Rob making a terrible mistake in the wrong time. And now it's going to be important for Give Me One JZ to just run away. But we saw last time, Rob didn't exactly make that easy.
Rob's into the pits. Rob's into the pits.
I mean, it did look like he was struggling with a dose of oversteer through that lap. Perhaps a wing adjust. Or maybe he knows that P3 is guaranteed for him and he sees the gap to AR Tonio behind and understands that it's a pretty safe way to guarantee yourself this P3.
Yeah,
and if anything was to happen up front, put yourself in a shout of winning.
No, I completely agree. We'll have to see what Rob the GOAT tires comes out on.
But it's a long pit here. It's a very long pit. And 2 of the main protagonists from this race, Paulie, who's made an excellent charge through the field, and Rob, who has given everything to defend that P2, now on track with a significant tyre advantage. But I think both of them are as desperate for the positions ahead as each other.
Yeah, I mean, 10 laps remaining.
Pod's second podium of the season is also not written off here. He's only 1.4 seconds behind the struggling Williams. I say struggling, he's had an amazing race, but just not quite the pace of the top 3.
I agree. Let's take a look. I mean, Pod Racer is sitting on one podium. Two would make the difference. We have him sitting on fourth in the driver's standings, fifth in the driver's standings. I'm mistaken. First in the driver's standings so far is RDG with 123 points, not far behind Kibo sitting at 119. Give Me Jay-Z sitting on 116. The Aston Martin of Winter sitting on 81.
Everyone, Jay-Z will be P2 in the championship after this with Kibo's absence.
I completely agree.
And also, give me one. Jay-Z is starting to seem very comfortable with the delta in front of him, keeping that constantly around 8 seconds. And I think we'll slowly try to chip away at this as this race goes on.
Antonio into the pits,
goes down 7 seconds.
Giving Pod Racer the third place position there.
I think what we're starting to see in this race is a lot of drivers suffering from desperate decisions. Desperate to either undercut or overcut, to stay ahead or overtake. But now suffering for it as these tires get really late into this very hard circuit.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I definitely feel like a lot of these drivers are banking on some kind of safety car, and it's just not turning out that way.
Rob taking full advantage of the ghosting system in the game.
I was taking a look at that as well. I completely agree with you.
It was looking quite hopeful for Rob at one point. I think his undercut worked wonders, but again, it just seems like another move out of desperation, you know? And now it's coming to bite him in the ass, so to speak. And penalties being handed out to half of the grid. That penalty for Laser should mean he just lets Antonio through, but we know Laser Blaster, and if there's anything, he is a committed wheel-to-wheel racer. But he will not be able to hold the tire advantage.
I mean, he's looking to the inside.
A little bit of contact. Looks like a little bit of contact. A result from a desperate lunge, maybe. He's going to have to follow right behind Antonio here if he wants any chance in keeping this position. But honestly, with the penalty, with the tire difference,
I think looking to the inside makes a clean pass as well on F1 Poly D.
And now this is where Pod's race becomes the most important it's ever been, you know? He has a car that has had the edge on pace throughout the weekend and is now on much faster tires. He has to defend 4 seconds for 8 laps. Is it possible? 6 laps, sorry. No, it is 8 laps. 8 laps. Is that going to be possible given the tire difference?
I mean, we'll have to take a look for sure. Let's take a look here at the tires. Wow. We have 9 laps on hards for Pod Racer.
Those hards will be starting to feel it now. If you remember, the mediums at this point were really feeling it. These hards are slowly starting to be getting there. As this race goes on, I think it would just be Pod trying to delay the inevitable. I mean, already almost a second in less than a lap. And Rob with a purple sector.
Rob the GOAT taking the fastest lap.
I think our P1 and 2 are very much locked in here, but our battle for this final spot in the podium could be quite interesting. If Pod can put up a good defense, that will welcome Paulie D right into this battle.
It looks like a mistake may have been made. Pod Racer creating a little bit of distance there. But will it hold is the question for sure.
But this track is so punishing. It's so unforgiving. It wants you to make those mistakes. Like the corners we're just exiting through from. They goad you into getting on the throttle, but as soon as you do, it punishes you. You have to be so patient, but so precise. I just don't think these odd mistakes, if Rob keeps getting them, will be enough to keep him behind. Lots of cautions, lots of off tracks. At the back of this field, struggling, but that is of no surprise given what a technical circuit Silverstone is. And that makes the performance that Winter and, to his credit, Give Me One Jay-Z have performed. Like, the incredible performances.
No, I mean like we've been saying from the beginning with the pole position pulling away. I mean, this has really been Winter's race to win, but it's also Winter's race to lose. Any slip up, any mistake, like you said, is punishing, and it could cost him. So Winter,
And it will cost on this circuit. You go off, you are immediately onto grass.
no, I
You make a
completely.
mistake under traction, you're not just losing a tenth, half a tenth, you're losing multiple.
But Winter, I mean, he's been absolutely perfect through this circuit so
So
far.
confident, so confident. I mean, we saw it on board with his quali lap. It was phenomenal.
And then here we go, back to Rob the Goat, closing in that distance, less than a second in that DRS window. So let's see what happens here between Pod Racer
I
and
don't
Rob
think
the
this will be
Goat.
much of a fight, Greg. I think Greg will pass on the next. I think Rob will pass on the next straight easily. I mean, he's going to be able to follow so easily through Maggots and Beckett's, and through these high speeds where the difference in tire delta will really pay off. The exit speed is just going to be too much better for Rob.
I mean, that gap is slowly dwindling down.
He's done enough to defend. Every single lap, every single corner, Pod is able to keep up this defense.
And it looks like he's looked to the inside.
Through the inside, a mistake on the exit. He's just going to welcome that place for Rob. I was going to say, for Pod, he's just going to have to defend in every corner, because every single corner he defends in gets him closer and closer to the race finish. But the tyre difference was just too drastic. On top of the inherent pace difference between the two drivers this weekend. And look at that. Even through the slow speeds, he is just gapping Pod.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we do have Winter, though. 11 laps on these hards. Give me 10 laps on these hards. Rob the Goat, 5 laps on his. We'll see. I mean, it's a 22-second
you're asking
difference.
for a lot in 5 laps. You're asking for a lot. I think Rob made a smart play to try to pick up a fastest lap as well. But, it was... Whatever he did, he was going to lose the position to Give Me One Jay-Z. And Rob, through Beckett's there, already starting to show signs that his own tyres might be going off. So perhaps individually as a driver and his car and his setup just really struggling with tyre temps and tyre management. Look, a dose of understeer here. Another helping there. And we have seen a few moments of oversteer from him as well.
What happened there? Give me one Jay-Z into the pits.
Wow, that is not a twist I saw coming.
Not in the slightest. I mean, 4 laps to go here at Silverstone, and Give Me One Jay-Z.
He's giving him... He's right out just in front of Pod. Pod will want this position so badly. But the exit difference is too much.
Excuse me, F1 Pauly D also into the pit lane here. It looks like we do have an interesting battle here for 3rd and 4th coming up pretty soon between Give Me One Jay-Z and Lodi, the Pod
If
racer.
anyone's happy about this, is going to be Winter. Look at how much that's going to inflate his win margin by. Across the line by probably 20 plus seconds.
It's going to be insane. Definitely not the strategy I was expecting. I did not expect anyone to be going into the pits with these last 3-4 laps remaining. That is for sure. But maybe
the tire difference is going to be absolutely massive once again. But unlike some of these other battles we've seen in the grid with massive differences in tires, there's not a lot of laps left to go, Greg, here. As Rob crosses the line, there will only be 3 laps left. He only has to defend for 3 laps.
Here we go. It looks like Give Me One Jay-Z is slowly closing in back for 2nd place.
I don't think this is going to be much of a fight.
No, not at all on these fresh mediums versus these old hards to the inside. No, he does not commit.
He keeps looking for moves in every possible corner. It might not be as easy. He's got to really set himself up for that move and commit and make it. There is no point of trying to get ahead at the second corner of loop there. You'll just be re-overtaken from having a worse exit and not having DRS.
And then it looks like Laser Blaster, F1 Poly D are also going at it here towards the last couple of laps.
F1, I think this is an easy move for Paulie D.
I agree. And then this Ferrari of Give Me is just fighting for that second place. He wants it bad. That is for sure.
How hard it is to follow, even with the new tires through these high speeds.
He's looking for every chance he can get, most definitely. DRS wing wide open. Does he make the move? No, he does not. I mean, 2 laps remaining, most definitely here.
But time
at Silverstone.
An early defense. He saw the move coming. You saw he was right in trying to defend that late.
Start finish line. Here we go.
Able to break so much later and a move onto the
to the inside.
He can do it. He can, but can he keep it committed into the braking zone? And how much can he pull away once he gets through loop? Because if he's not far away enough, Rob can easily try to take this place back through DRS. And that ghost car is going to be so annoying for them. He's just spun. That is going to be a very annoying visual distraction for them. And unfortunately, Rob hasn't got the gap here. Jay-Z will swoop back in to take his P2. And I assume maybe try to get a fastest lap in the closing stages here. Paulie D dropping 10 seconds on Laser Blaster. There must have been some sort of incident there. Laser must have made a mistake. That gap happened in the time that it took for one Jay-Z to overtake Rob.
Very exciting stuff here at Silverstone this evening, that is for sure. Does Rob the GOAT have what it takes to get that second place back? Or is Give Me One Jay-Z just going to continue to pull away? Winter only with a 6-second gap as well.
Winter came in for a bit himself. I'm assuming, if the gap's that low.
He had to have pit. We will have to see what unfolds in these last 2 laps. I don't know. Grabbing a 3-second penalty as well.
Anyone to take his fastest lap away from him.
Give me one Jay-Z with the new fastest lap on mediums. 129.470.
The real fight here in the closing stage of this Grand Prix is for the fastest lap, I guess. And that's what's happened. That's what happens when you're a driver like Winter and you just put on such a dominant display.
Just pure perfection of a performance. No mistakes, locking in and just turning the laps as he is comfortable and just slowly pulling away and giving this race to himself. Kibo missing the race, going to give me one Jay-Z second place in the driver standings. Winter sitting in P4. This win will definitely increase him a little bit, sitting at 81 points in the Drivers' Champions against Give Me sitting at 116.
I mean, Winter's been very much welcomed up into this championship fight with the absence of Kibo. He will be clearing 100 points going into this race. He'll be 106 points at the end of this. He will still be in P4, but that is closing the gap on not only P2, but P3 and P1, 2, and 3. Forgive me. And Winter has responded, but he's on the softs. Of course he was going to respond. 3 seconds he's gained since he's come out of the pits.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean,
let's go forward with Winter here as he begins his final lap of an absolutely dominant British Grand Prix.
Yeah, here we go. Coming onto the fastest driver here today. Like we were saying earlier, no mistakes. Just pure comfortability at this track. Making it known that this is where he thrives.
This is his stomping grounds.
No,
no one had an answer to his pace today. Even now, he's going to be enjoying this final lap in as he approaches Sector 3, out of Copse, such a famous historic corner, through Maggots and Beckett's as well, up through the Hanger Straight, approaching Stowe. Just from his very first qualifying lap to now, there's been no doubt in my mind about who would win this Grand Prix.
No, I mean I agree with you. This like we've been saying this whole time, this has been Winter's race to win, and he has proved it with every corner, with every lap, just sitting there.
Through the final chicane, he's going to cross the line now to take home this British Grand Prix win. A whack on the wall for style, because why not? It's going to be such a margin until another driver crosses the line.
And then,
wow, what a race win. Dominant performance. For the constructor as well, Aston Martin winning at Silverstone. Quite poetic in such a fashion.
No, I completely agree. I mean, this is only round 8 of 14, so still a lot of racing left to go in this season. A lot of changes, a lot of driver standing positions will be mixed up. We'll have to see what happens next week here at the Australian Grand Prix. But as these last couple of drivers make their way around the circuit with these last lap coming through, we'll have Winter P1, Give Me P2, Rob the Goat P3, Pod Racer P4, and A. Tonio, the new driver, coming in at P5. Lots of excitement coming through. This has been a very exciting race and a lot more exciting to go. I'm very much looking forward to this Australian Grand Prix next week.
And Laser Blaster getting one more penalty, as if the race wasn't already sour enough. As he crosses the line.
Great stuff.
Who was your driver of the day, Greg? Aside from the obvious Winter, who would you give your honorary driver of the day to?
Honorary driver of the day, I'd have to say, would be either Rob the Goat or Gimme. Both those two drivers, I mean, they were fighting for position. They both wanted it bad. You could tell with pit strategy, with race strategy. Here we go, looking at Winter doing his podium celebration. Got the iPhone 16 Plus out. Showing off.
Capture every moment. As if he didn't show off enough on track today, he had to show off the smartphone too.
You already know. Great race here today at Silverstone, and it is going to be an exciting race for the Australian Grand Prix next week. Make sure you tune in, and we will see you guys next week.